Hi there! Welcome to this Mew VMAX video. My name is Nicholas Yong. I am the founder of the Southern Islands, a competitive TCG news website for Southeast Asia. My most favorite Pokemon in the current standard format is Mew VMAX. It sort of reminds me of Mewtwo and Mew GX back in the day, except that Pokemon can only copy EX and GX attacks, and this can only copy Fusion Strike Pokemon. Which is no issue because the biggest driver for the Mew VMAX Fusion Strike deck is Genesect V. Genesect V allows you to draw up to 6 cards, if you have 6 Fusion Strike Pokemon in play of course, and its attack 210 damage is very strong when coupled together with Power Tablets and Choice Belt. And I've stuck with Mew VMAX ever since Fusion Strike was released. In fact, Mew VMAX was the deck that helped me win the Singapore qualifiers for Battlefest Asia 2021. So I took Mew VMAX over to my local game store, Goodness Gracious Games, and Boss Thomas was kind enough to record my game so that we can have a look at my plays, see what are the positive plays that I've made and the extremely bad misplays I've done as well. So without further ado, let's analyze my matches. Okay, so let's head to game 2. So in the second round, I fought against Jebel. He's playing Galarian Moltres V with Arceus V-Star. It's going to be a very uphill battle for me. I actually lost the first game, partly because I couldn't set up at all, couldn't get my active Meloetta out, and he managed to charge up his Galarian Moltres V with two Galarian Moltres V with 2 Darkness Energy on. That really kind of seals the game. It's quite impossible for me to come back from that. So I got the typical Mew VMAX start here, Battle VIP Pass. And I flip heads on the Chymomatic, which is the best feeling you can have as a Mew VMAX player. But I think the most important thing with Chymomatic is that you should not rely on it as a way to find your cards. It's more for you to try and discard your hand. At least that way, if you feel, even you flip tails, right, you don't feel so bad. Okay, so I found a Choice Belt. And I'm going to draw up to 4 cards now. So the reason why I didn't want to, why I found Choice Belt was because my hand already had a Fusion Energy. So, I mean, one piece is already there. And I'm discarding the Alyssa Sparkle there because I already have another Fusion Energy in the hand. So my goal here as a Mew VMAX player starting first against the Moltres deck is to try and pick out the cards that he's setting energy to. If he's got it on an Arceus V-Star, then I'll try and ping for the Arceus V. So for the Arceus V before it evolves, he's preparing a Galarian Moltres, I'll take it down as fast as I can. Basically, don't try to let him set up the Galarian Moltres V. Of course, at this point, I didn't know that he's also playing Energy Switch and Raihan. So, to be honest, if he manages to get a lot of things set up well, it's going to be very tough. So I need to be ahead of the game, so to say. Alright, so he's starting his turn. He's got a balloon on the Moltres, probably preparing to get the Arceus V out and then get the double turbo energy on it so that he can charge bench Pokemon V attacker. The first search was just to have a quick peek at what he has in his deck, anything that's priced, of course. Because he's going for big research here, nothing in his hand, wow. Yeah, losing that 1 double turbo as well. If only he had like 1 quick ball, that would have been perfect. But in any case, the research helping get back on track. He's got Arceus. So it looks like he needs to get rid of a few cards now because he has Crobat V. I think he's going to look for Crobat V, I think, here. That's another big Ultra Ball. He has to throw away Tool Scrapper, which is a big, it's a big positive. You managed to land a Tool Scrapper against Mew. taking out their choice belt is basically taking out a permanent power tablet, you know. Okay, so he's forced to play the combat V here to draw 3. Okay, so at this point that I felt a bit fearful that he might be playing combat VMAX. That would make the matchup even more tougher than it already is. So this is something that caught me a little bit off guard. Powerful normal type energy that would give the Arceus plus 20 attack. So even if you set the double turbo, it would the plus 20 minus 20 would just fix itself to get the math and then go back to 200 damage. Okay, he's got another Arceus V out. This is basically a great start. As an Arceus player, you want to have both 2 Arceus on the board, because with that, then you near guarantee an Arceus V star. Okay, I only take 1 knockout anyway, so he's sending the Crobat V to be the victim here for me. And now my aim, right, is to get the boss order. Okay, I got a 2 energy set on, and I need a Mew VMAX as well. So I'm going to draw a Rose Tower, and that was like the best Rose Tower. I think probably the best Rose Tower 1 draw that I have drawn in, well, probably practically my whole life, you know. Okay, I did not get the boss order, but I thought I would just use the escape rope anyway. It's a way to switch out my Meloetta, which is one big thing I need to do. And taking a knockout at any of the 3 Pokemon in the back, it's a plus lah. Anything is a plus instead of taking a knockout on the Crobat V lah for now. So he sent as expected, he will send the Arceus V with no energy. I don't mind taking a knockout on that. Of course, I still would prefer to boss orders the one with the energy. So this is where I'm hoping for hits here. And it is. Okay, I got the hits. Going for the boss order play. Switching to my deck now. Okay, so the reason why I was just looking through this card pile is because I play Echoing Horn, right? So I just want to take note in case there's something that he discarded earlier that I could just pop back up, kill him with a boss order in case. Because Arceus V, you need a lot of resources to take down Arceus V star. Practically one choice belt plus 2 tablets. And you only take 2 prizes from that, so it's a real, for me lah, I feel it's a very big waste to do so. Okay, nice 2 prizes there. So his aim right now, I believe, would be to try and charge the Moltres here. He does play Raihan, so it will be easy for him to get the Arceus V-Star online. He can just use the Arceus V-Star's ability. Okay, he's just used a quick ball, he discarded Cheren's Care. So Cheren's Care is another big bane for Mew VMAX players, because basically there's no point in taking a 2-hit knockout on a Arceus V-Star. I mean, 1 is only a 2-prizer, and then 2, Cheren's Care exists, which you can just take it back and then send another Arceus to attack. Basically, it means that you just like technically wasted a turn attacking for nothing lah. But most decks usually play only 1 or 2 at most. Otherwise, it's practically a dead card. And in this case, he has discarded it to find another Arceus V. It's a backup. Okay, with the second quick ball, another Galarian Moltres, trying to set up a checkmate here. But the important thing here is that I've already taken 2 prizes. So he's definitely unable to charge up the Moltres in one turn unless he has 2 Darkness Energy. Okay, so taking note against Galarian Moltres V players, right? If the opponent has 2 Darkness Energy in the discard pile, with Vaihan, you can charge 1. Then with the Moltres ability, you can charge another, and then from your hand, set another 1 more card. Always switch that final energy card with Vaihan. And it's easy to find the pieces if you have Arceus V-Star. But in this case, he tried to prioritize setup instead. And if he doesn't take a knockout on the Mew VMAX, basically the game is quite sealed here. You might be asking why, right? So if he does not take a knockout, then for me, I would take a 2-price knockout, either on the Galarian Moltres, most likely the Galarian Moltres, take another 2-price, and by then he should have a Galarian Moltres fully charged lah, and he will take out my my Mew VMAX. So then I just follow up with another Mew VMAX and settle that. Then I take the final 2-price. Big advantage going first for Mew, but you must take that knockout and keep that pressure on the Arceus player. Now, I'm quite grateful that he doesn't play the Inteleon line. That would make it a more difficult puzzle for me. Okay, so he's used his V-Star ability to take 2 cards. Right, charge 1 here. Energy switch and money. He needs the double turbo to get things start moving here. And I believe, yes, he's found it from the money. Perfect for him. Now I can get the ball rolling here. And hit me for 180 damage. But for me, I'm very pleased with this outcome. Not my Mew VMAX not being knocked out means I can definitely take another 2 prizes here. It's just whether I want to take it on the Moltres on the back, which will be better, or spend tablets to take out the Arceus V-Star on top. It just depends on your hand here. Because either way, you need the most important part now is to try and prepare the second Mew VMAX. Take the follow-up knockout. Okay, using the switch here, trying to burn out my hand here. I know I have enough switch. Drawing 3 cards. I got the second Mew VMAX, perfect. Exactly what I needed. Tablet. And double turbo energy. I've decided to set it on anyway so I can draw 3 cards here. Which is perfect. I did draw a Genesect. But I just, okay, yeah, just gonna get rid of that stadium first before I can play the my second Genesect. So Collapse Stadium is another new tech that I'm seeing quite often in Arceus decks. It really skews the game, especially against as a Mew VMAX player. It really hitting when you want to know what to discard here. Usually, it will be a Genesect, but there are some cases where smart Arceus player, right, plays the Collapse Stadium. This is a boss order on the Genesect on the bench. So, like, you know, it's like taking out 2 Genesects at once. And if you've already discarded your extra 1 Genesect, because you play 4 usually, you discarded 1 earlier from your quick ball to try and like empty out your hand, right? Then you're in deep pinch. Now you're only left with the 2 Genesects left to draw. So the final Genesect was perfect. I managed to draw the boss orders, which I plan to use here. So earlier I did use the Echoing Horn to plot the Arceus. I didn't mind. I just wanted to empty my hand out here, and having another Arceus on board is good, just like, you know, another target for me for boss orders later. Unless he's lucky to get a double V-Star evolution. So the boss orders to pull out the Arceus, to pull out the Galarian Moltres, and then take a quick knockout. I did play a tablet, so that just made the math perfect to take a knockout on the Galarian Moltres V. Yep, and that's it. Taking a knockout on there makes the game quite sealed. Okay, we're going to game 3 here. I'm going up against Mickey Collects Poke. Shout out to Mickey. We did a video recently together reviewing the 2006 World Championship decks. He was playing Evolutions that time, and now he's playing Jolteon VMAX. Personally, I think Jolteon VMAX has a 50-50 matchup against Mew. He has a number of outs for him to win here. So you can see he's going for a Galarian Dragoon early on to put the 10 damage counter, because the Jolteon VMAX is able to do 100 damage to the active and then another 100 damage to a Pokemon on the bench that has damage counters already on it. So setting up the 10 damage here, so later when my Genesect retreats back to the bench, the Jolteon can start putting damage on that Genesect. Okay, he's ended the turn with a Sobble and Jolteon V on the bench, which is great for me, because now I want to find escape rope. If I can find escape rope, it's very likely that he would set out the Sobble over the Jolteon. And if he does send out the Sobble, right, basically his engine dies out pretty quickly here. It's the same for any other decks that use Sobble. My opinion is that if you can manage to take out their one lonely Sobble on the bench, the deck practically can't run. You can see here I'm debating whether to go for the Meloetta energy here or go on the Mew. If I go, which I decided to go on the Mew after all, thinking that he would definitely pull out a Sobble with escape rope. But even if he does decide to go with the Jolteon, it's fine by me, because I can hit the initial 70 damage with Mew, then they give me an easier knockout later on when I want to hit him with Mew VMAX. It's ideal for me anyway, taking a 3 price, because he's only going to attack with Jolteon VMAX, so there's no other alternative attacker here in this deck. I have the Lizard Sparkle. I've set the 2 energy on both Mew, because I already have a Fusion Strike energy in hand. There we go. Now the aim is just to find an escape rope. Okay, I've drawn 3, the first Genesect, on another Genesect to go for a 4th draw, and I do have the 4th Fusion Strike energy. So that makes, for me, the matchup much more easier. If I have 4 readily available Fusion Strike energy, so I just threw the tablet. Don't really need more than 1 tablet later to take knockouts on Jolteon VMAX. Okay, I've got the Meloetta set up here for the Mirrorless Echo later. It's a bit on the fence whether you should play Meloetta early. Playing Meloetta early makes it very susceptible to Jolteon's one hit, to be knocked out in 1 hit by Jolteon. But I need to find the escape rope, and I do have 2 Meloettas. So I decided to play on the Meloetta anyway. Going for the Ultra Ball here. I'm thinking if I want to find another Mew VMAX. I already have Mew VMAX in hand. But I make a double take here because I'm still missing the escape rope, and I already have Mew VMAX in hand, so why bother, right? Getting a little bit of thought here, and I will decide not to do it. Yep, as you can see, just showing the camera here, that just putting it back. Take note, guys, in a more competitive setting, once you've already decided on your quick ball, ultra ball pick, and then you've already taken it to hand, shuffle your deck, put it down, that's it, it's all over. You can't take back, right? And your opponent can call the judge on you and tell you, no, you can't take back, you already decided that's the card you want. See? So be more careful in in the official tournaments later when you decide what cards you want to take. Like, be absolutely sure it's the card you want. So my Rose Tower here isn't as lucky as the previous game. I have to draw up to 6 again with Genesect, because if I don't want to ultra ball the future strategy no matter what. I'd rather not attack at all than discard the future strategy. It's very important to have 4 future strategy in the board, especially against something big like Jolteon VMAX with 300 HP. So like I guess most Inteleon players would already have the Sobble, the Drizzle already in hand. If not Drizzle, level ball. So for him, the aim would be to get an energy card and then get the corresponding Jolteon item card. It will allow it to attack for only 1 energy. Go for the escape rope. He wants to just get the Zigzagoon out of play. And you could put it down immediately to take a damage counter, which definitely could be a Meloetta. Yeah. So now my Meloetta is susceptible to being knocked out by Jolteon here, as long as he can find both pieces. But with only one Sobble Drizzle, 1 shady dealing, it's not very easy to do so. He had to research for 7. He found the Speed Lightning to draw 2, and no, don't think he found it. But he did find a path though. Just fine by me because I've already prepared the stadium. Okay, he did use the Fan of Waves on my energy card, slows me down a bit. And yep, he missed the item, so his bot back is good up to the front again. Back to my turn now. Okay, I'm definitely involving the Mew. I'm going to go for a double Mew here. Just throwing the Battle VIP pass, is just useless now. And the tablet, which I don't really need. I know I have energy there. I'm going to shuffle it later, so it wouldn't be in the bottom deck anymore. Because just to be sure, let your opponent cut your deck. Let's see my options here. I think the best play would be to get the boss's orders instead of taking a knockout on the Zigzagoon. But I've already thrown away my 2 tablets now, so bossing the Jolteon is not a good idea. Okay, my first draw of 3 was decent. I managed to get a switch to get my Genesect out in the front. Okay, gonna draw 4 my first Genesect. Let's see what I get. I got a bird. Did get a quick ball and a Cramomatic. If I get I'm gonna go for the cram play here. I want to try and get the boss's orders. Don't want to take a knockout on Zigzagoon at all. I got Tails, it's fine. As usual, like I said, when I mentioned earlier, even if you get Tails on your crab, it's fine. Just think of it as a card that you can use to draw more cards instead of a card that you want to find the card that you need with that hits, So at least even if you fail, Tails is fine. Yep, I'm going for another cram. See my luck this time. I'm gonna flip again. And this time it's hits. Big bonus for me. I can find the boss's orders. But I won't be able to take a knockout on the Jolteon VMAX. So my line of thinking here is, okay, won't have enough to take out the Jolteon. Only have 3 energy in the board. So my next best play is take out the Drizzle so that he doesn't get Inteleon. Now you're wondering why Inteleon and not like take a 2-hit KO on the Jolteon. For me, I feel that these days many players focus more towards the shady dealings Inteleon. So if he were to evolve the Drizzle into Inteleon, he could use Scoop Up Net, pick it up to his hand, then he would evolve the Inteleon, evolve the Inteleon Shady Dealings first, grab 2 cards, use Scoop Up Net, bring it up, evolve another Drizzile, essentially finding 3 trainer cards in one turn. So just want to stop that from happening. Okay, he's setting down the second energy card here, so the Jolteon 100% will be able to attack, and for sure he's going to take out my Meloetta here. Leave me in the pinch because I need the Meloetta to attack, to take a knockout on his Jolteon VMAX. Okay, the best play now, it's a perfect play, Money Path. So Money Path is the reason why many decks now that play many Mew decks would definitely want to play Rotom Phone. With Rotom Phone, you could set up Stadium. This is your top 5. You just leave that Stadium on top of your deck so that after the Path money, you get to draw your Stadium. Which why some Inteleon decks have responded instead by playing Judge in addition to money so that they can bypass that lah. But Judge, you draw 1 less card, so that's the bad part of playing Judge over money. Anyway, I did find the Stadium in my money, which was lucky. Got the Choice Belt there. Now all I'm missing is 1 more Fusion Strike energy to take a knockout on this Jolteon VMAX. My game plan here is that even if I do miss this knockout, right? If I can find a boss orders, I can also take out the Jolteon V in the bench and finish off the Jolteon VMAX in front. Okay, cram again. Don't think I'll be so lucky. Yeah, right, it's a Tails, which is fine. I do also have a tablet play. In my hand, Let's give my options here. It would be better if I could take a knockout on the Jolteon V, then finish off the Jolteon VMAX later. Okay, I did find the last Future Strike energy I needed anyway. So I got 4 energy now. As you can see, I'm using, in most cases, right, you would usually retreat your damaged Mew to attack with undamaged Mew. But again, take note of Jolteon VMAX's attack, right? So only in this matchup, you'd want to send out your damaged Mew to go and attack. That way you ensure that he won't damage 2 Mews at the same time instead, and pick up 6 prizes from there. Okay, he's got the speed lining on the Jolteon, and he's got the elemental badge that will allow the Jolteon VMAX to attack now. I think the targets are quite clear for Mickey. Definitely it's going to be the Mew VMAX plus the Genesect. Hit the Ultra Ball here. Definitely going to find the Inteleon. There we go. That shitty dealings again. Money Path coming one more time. That's the thing with Jolteon VMAX, you don't see it coming, and then when it does hit you, you realize, oh crap, he's gonna pick up 5 prizes in one turn. You can see right there, after taking out my Meloetta first with the initial 1 prize, now he just needs to hit both the Mew VMAX and the Genesect V. So he's going for a 2 Scrapper for the second card with Inteleon Shady Dealings. That will take out my choice belt, yep, and will make it more difficult for me to take a knockout on the Jolteon. Now I'm going to need to find another choice belt or tablet. Here we go, 4 cards for me and 5 for him. Let's see whether I am 2 times lucky to get a Stadium to get out of this.
like Jolteon, like Mickey beat Mew VMAX deck in this this tournament as well. Same with the Money Path, and then letting your opponent just be stuck like that. Okay, so it's punching me for 100, and then the bench just gets another 100, so there's 110 on the bench. Right, so let's see my hand. No stadium. Top deck draw. There we go. Oh, face. Oh no, that was very lucky. That was very lucky. But I need to like count my luck further. I need to try and get a tablet here, which I know I have. Just checked. Just need to find it to finish off this Jolteon. Okay, another big thing to note here is that the Mew VMAX has 310 HP, right? So for him to, if I fail to take a knockout here, and for him he would need to get the Scoop Up Net to bring back the Zigzagoon to ping the final 10 damage on Mew to win the game. So I drew 6 cards and missed the tablet entirely. And I do have a cram, but unfortunately I have no item card to use the cram with. Wow, okay. Looks like I'm forced to use Boss here. No, I can't move. I'm gonna boss the Drizzle. Why I boss the Drizzle? Like I was saying earlier, if he were to use Scoop Up Net on the Inteleon, he could just like find another 2 more cards again. So I don't want him to do that. Or if he plays 2 Inteleon, I'm not sure, I don't know. So I'll just take a knockout there, leave myself with 1 prize, and now just pray. I just have to pray that he's unable to take a knockout on my Mew VMAX. What he needs now is 1 Scoop Up Net, essentially. Looks like he missed it here. Just wondering what that's right, just to take damage here. That's it. So for me, I just have to get the tablet. Oh, fine, I just drew the escape rope instead, which would guarantee me the knockout against either one of them. So that was another great game. Very close game, in fact, very close game. Yeah, if I had the Peony, I could find the cards I needed. Right, so we're going to a game here against Valve. Valve is a long-time Pokemon player. And fun fact, he's actually the brainchild behind the Zygarde GX 2018 Worlds deck. So he's playing Jolteon VMAX here. This is game 3. He did win 1 game as well. I donked him the first game if I recall correctly. I have a good start going for the Battle VIP pass. Just looking through my deck, counting the number of Fusion Strike Energy power tablets I need, because the one good thing about Jolteon VMAX is that, I mean, fighting against Jolteon VMAX, with 300 HP, all I need is 1 Choice Belt and 2 power tablets if I'm attacking with Genesect 210, or if I have Meloetta and 3 Fusion Strike Energy on the board. So I already have 2 Genesect in hand, which is excellent. Now I'm thinking, yeah, I decided to just play down the Meloetta anyway. So my first thought process here is that, okay, if I'm going to play down the Meloetta, I could put a Fusion Strike Energy on it so that it doesn't get pinged by the Galarian Zigzagoon 10 damage, which would result in a knockout for Jolteon. Easy knockout actually for Jolteon. Another good thing about the Jolteon deck is that it's very, very consistent in getting a money path. But of course, as long as you have like multiple Sobble in play lah. You can see I decided not to attach the energy to Meloetta, going instead for the most safer play of putting energy on my Mew. With Mew VMAX, you always want to try and get the... Yeah, that's perfect, you see. So I got the boss's orders already. So with Mew VMAX starting first against Jolteon, you definitely want to try and get one energy on the board, so you can go for the second energy, Mew VMAX, boss orders to kill off the Jolteon before he can evolve. Of course, if you can get 2 Jolteon, then tough luck lah, but if he only has 1, that'll be the perfect play in fact. So Jolteon is one of those decks that you're not afraid of being one-hit KO'd, so in fact, it's very rare for them to attack with the first attack. I mean, they do, it's a 20 damage, which is good because they're going to use it to set up for pings. But see, this is what's most likely going to happen against a Jolteon VMAX deck. If you get up one Sobble, they're going to just keep calling instead, so they can set up their board for later in the game. But unfortunately, Valve's last game here, he only managed to find one Sobble to keep calling. The main reason I wanted to show, see now I don't have Mew VMAX, right? So I would I don't have to play the tablet here, take a knockout, but I need to find Mew VMAX. So this is an example of if you need to go aggressive to take a key knockout, like if you need to waste your power tablets, then in this case, yeah. And thankfully, with the Genesect, I managed to find the Mew VMAX. Of course, it's not like, so difficult, right? But as a Mew VMAX player, there are times that you just don't hit the nuts, you don't draw into anything, and you miss that key knockout. And missing the key knockout against Jolteon is very, very terrible. Alternatively, right, because Jolteon's HP is so low at 180, you don't have playing the 2 power tablets has another benefit in that I don't have to use Genesect's 210 damage. I just have to hit with Mew VMAX's own attack. Mew VMAX attack, 130 damage. Is able to, with the 2 tablets, is just enough to take a knockout on the Jolteon. A max miracle for 130 damage, yeah. So now Valve is trying very hard to come back from this, but that's the key, that's the great benefit of starting first with Mew. Going for the boss play to take out a key target. One of the like important things that you should look out for going first playing Mew. Like you see, like the opponent only has 1 Arceus, just if you can get that second energy and boss, yeah, go for it for sure. That's my 4 cards, which is quite decent to be honest. And wow, that's a very, very sad draw. He can find a result though. He still can find a result. But it looks like he doesn't even have a result. Oh, yeah, he already has in hand, so that's why I didn't bother finding another one. Find 6 are good instead. Just looking through his deck. I assume at this point he needs to find another Jolteon as backup. Quick ball there. Have to throw the boss, unfortunately. So this is great for me, right? Having only 1 Jolteon on the board makes it like very easy to keep pinging the one lone guy. So he's dropped he's used my training cord to get back the energy, which is perfect. Now I need to keep the offensive. If I get a hit here, I can grab a boss orders, take a quick knockout on Jolteon and hopefully seal the game. That's it. That's perfect. That's all I needed. Very, very sorry to Valve, in fact. That was very unlucky that he couldn't get 2 Jolteon on the board. Okay, so for my next game, I'm going against Suikai, another long-time Singaporean player. So he's playing the new, very popular Arceus Birds. So Arceus Birds is a sort of a very counterbox sort of deck. Not only does it have Galarian Moltres V and the baby as well, it also has Galarian Zapdos V to take quick knockouts on opposing Arceus mirror decks. So it starts with a Hoopa. The Hoopa actually does 90 damage if it's able to come out from the bench. In this game, I lost my first game, quite sadly. It's very, very tough for Mew here because we have all the Pokemon they need to take quick knockout. So this isn't really like, you would think this isn't really a great start for Suikai because he didn't manage to get an Arceus on the board or any Sobble in particular. Basically, yeah, they also survived the Sobble, the Shady Dealings engine. But the next best thing is getting the Galarian Moltres ready for a quick knockout on a Mew. So in this case, getting the Moltres out, charging 2 energy means it's practically ready for whatever Mew that comes. Or you could, even better if you can manage to find a boss to target a Mew that I set an energy card on. I did start with boss's orders here, which is better than my previous game against Suikai. Just figuring out where to set this Fusion Strike energy. So you can see now I'm pretty worried that it's going to get knocked out. Yeah, so I didn't manage to, because my hand is quite bad, I didn't manage to go further than setting that the Battle VIP pass. So I just used Mew V's first attack, Energy Mix, to find another energy to the Mew in the back. So at least I've got, no matter who he takes a knockout on, at the very least, I got 1 Mew with 1 energy set on. He got the air balloon on Hoopa to get it out of the active, and he's managed to set a water energy onto the Galarian Moltres V. So that also plays 1 water energy, so it allows the Inteleon to attack as well. The Shady Dealings Inteleon, which is not shabby, 120 damage with 20 on the bench if I recall. Okay, he's got a support draw coming up, a Bidoof there, and a quick ball. So it looks like he's starting to move. Yep, the Sobble, that's perfect. So his board is quite set up here. And he can take a quick first knockout with Galarian Moltres. Here we go. 190 is an immediate knockout even against Mew VMAX, so he takes the first 2 prizes. And I need to somehow come back from this. Okay, I do have the Mew VMAX ready for the return knockout. So Galarian Moltres does 190 damage for 3 energy, but it needs to hit itself with 30 damage. Which is good because that means you don't really need to find a choice bell or tablet to take a knockout on it. I'm forced to Ultra Ball away a boss's orders and a tablet. That shows you how terrible my start has become. But I get to draw a clean 3 cards. So here's another example of Mew VMAX being able to, I don't know, reset itself up, you know. I am still on the back foot, don't get me wrong here, but that 3 card draw now has allowed me to draw up to 5 cards with my next Genesect. Okay, drawing 5 now. Perfect, can draw another one more here. Just considering my options, I did draw 2 chromatics. I have to say, going through my mind, for sure it crossed to think of going for cram heads and taking a knockout on the Sobble to try and stop his engine from moving. Okay, so taking a knockout here with Mew VMAX copying Genesect V's Tango Blast for 210, which plus 30 to 40. Now just praying that he can't set up. But the thing here with Arceus stacks, right? The key Pokemon is not the ones that are starting right now, but the baby Galarian Moltres. And the best part about it that it can just like come out of nowhere. You completely don't expect it. The moment you, as a Mew player, drop to 3 prizes, that's an easy one-hit knockout for the Galarian Moltres. Like out of the blue, you just suddenly see a Clara, to bring up 2 Darkness Energy back to his hand, or the Moltres if he discarded it earlier and then just drops it on the board. At least for me, the most important part is I can expect not to get hit here. You always have to keep the back of your head, that the Galarian Moltres is coming. And you gotta be very, very afraid. Like, be very, very afraid. Okay, just evaluating his options here. So normally, dropping the Oricorio on the board against Arceus, usually, especially against Arceus Inteleon, the most straight Arceus version without the Galarian Birds V version, without Galarian Birds V, especially when going second means your opponent Arceus getting the boss order advantage on their turn 2, right? Having the Oricorio on board makes it difficult for the Arceus to take a knockout. They can't take an easy knockout on a Mew. A Mew is 180 HP. Setting the double turbo with a basic energy is a quick knockout at any Mew V. Especially if you have to put 2 down on the board in your turn 1, right? So with Arceus V-Star, they could use their V-Star ability to find the boss orders and the missing card they need to take a knockout on the Mew V. So Oricorio, it makes them forced to find a choice belt instead of a big charm. And in that case, easy for you to take a return knockout without relying on finding power tablets. Like a lot of power tablets, normally it's 280 HP. One choice belt with 2 tablets is enough, but because of the big charm, you're forced to find 3 tablets instead, making you waste so much resources to take out 1 V-Star. This is the player I was talking about here. Clara to find the Galarian Moltres plus Darkness Energy. He did manage to scoop up net the Drizzle in front, setting up a 70 damage. That's because it's minus 20 from the Oricorio. Normally it's 90. So now my headspace is like, I'm quite stuck here. What can I do to stop him? Especially as many Mew players don't play any disruption cards at all, because you want to keep your deck consistent. I'm forced to throw another tablet here, and I flip 2 tails, 2 tails with my Chromamatic. Yeah, as you can, with Arceus players, they know that Mew players don't play disruption cards like Marnie or Judge.
so they can basically set up their hand perfectly, not worried that they're gonna get disrupted. So if you notice, in the recent regionals in Latin America, right? One of the top 8 Mew decks actually played a judge. So I won't be surprised going forward with Mew VMAX players by trying to fit in one disruption card in the deck, Judge or Money, or maybe like 2, you never know. Shout out to Brian who played 2 Money in his Mew VMAX deck and qualified for the Singapore Battlefest Asia team with that Mew VMAX. Probably the foresight to see this Arceus deck come forward. Now, here's another key mistake in playing. In my play here, I evolved another Mew VMAX, which I shouldn't have. The best play here would be to have kept the Mew VMAX with the 70 damage in the active for attacking and do a Psychic Leap, right? Do a Psychic Leap, leave my Mew V on the board, which means I only have to max 2 prizes because he has 3 prizes already, then he can't win the game immediately. So here's a very big mistake. That's something for me to learn, for you and you guys to take note. Yeah, even with Lisa Sparkle, right? I could bring forward a Genesect or the Oricorio after Mew VMAX copying Psychic Leap. Then take a return knockout on the Galarian Moltres that's about to come out. The worst thing is like, you're seeing your impending doom coming and there's nothing you can do about it. Yeah, here we yeah. So I think I realized by now that evolving the Mew VMAX is the wrong play. Yeah, he's just checking the 130 damage that not many people use. And it's gonna drop the Galarian Moltres. With a training court, he already has the 3rd energy in play. There we go. Here it comes. I believe he already had 1 in play, I think. In any case, training court for the 1 energy you need. So basically, even if I had training court, I'll be helping him. I have 3 prizes left. He's just checking the thing. But yeah, it's a complete loss for me here. Don't know if he's looking for some other pieces to the deck. And the worst part, I think, like for Mew VMAX battling against Arceus is that they rarely have 3 prizes. We are seeing some decks play Crobat VMAX, especially the straight Arceus with just Inteleons, right? Like fitting just that 1 Crobat VMAX into the deck. It's a very good counter. Like if you're forced to use Crobat to set up your board early turn, you can charge the Crobat with Arceus attack and basically provide another threat to Mew. Then you're forced to take a knockout on the Crobat V because you're worried that they might play Crobat VMAX. And well, in fact, the Mew deck, the Arceus deck may or may not play the Crobat VMAX. A lot of mind games here.
He's just making sure 100% that he has the kill, I think. But he already has it on board, you can see. Because I've already taken 3 prizes. Glaring Moltres does 50 damage for every prize I've taken. So when your opponent, see myself here, taken 3 prizes, that's 150 plus a base damage of 20, 170. Then 170 times 2. Yeah. So you have to be very wary of when the Arceus player forces you to a 3 prize. What's the best solution? For me, would be to go for the 2-2-2, right? Taking out a knockout on maybe an Arceus, then one another 2 prizer, and then if you notice, a lot of new players play Echoing Horn as well to take out the last 2 prizer that you knocked out earlier. So it's really, my bad, sorry. I thought he only had 3 prizes, but the fact is he had 4. Which was right because he took a knockout on the Mew earlier. Oh, my bad. Which makes it even more even more that I misplayed there by evolving 2 Mew VMAX. Just having that 1 Mew V on the board, right? Taking a knockout with the taking a knockout on the Bidoof with Mew VMAX copying Psychic Lead, then leaving just 2 prizes in the board. So even if he did take 2 prizes, right? I could, which he would, likely if I send out a Genesect and if I send it or Oricorio, I could return with an Oricorio knockout, or go for a Mew knockout with 2 tablets, just giving him a 1 prizer. Then after he takes that knockout against Mew, after he takes the knockout against the Meloetta that I sent out to attack, the Meloetta I sent out to attack in response to that, if he doesn't have boss, right, then he can just take a knockout. He just have to take a knockout on the Meloetta, left 1 prize. Then I can go for the Echoing Horn boss order game. So him doing the research and basically filling up his hand, preparing the Drizzles and Sobble, he's basically trying to seal the checkmate game here, so that even if I played correctly, just leaving just 2 prizes on the board, he could easily go for a return knockout again. That's right, Evo Incense will find the Drizzle, we'll find the Clara. That's perfect, that's game. So game 3 of that week's league game, I'm playing against Walter, who's also playing Arceus Counterbox with all the birds, but he has one extra tech, which is Hoopa V. So Hoopa V is both Psychic type and Darkness type, so he now has an out against Urshifu. Again, I'm starting first. Forced to quick ball away the double turbo energy just to get that Genesect on the board. So Walter, what's the play? Okay, got 3 Pokemon on the board. I did have a Mew as well in my hand. I'm going to discard it with the Ultra Ball. Decent good start here for my deck without Battle VIP Pass. Just trying to see if I can quickly overwhelm Walter before he can set up. Right, drawing 4 cards. Here we go. Did get the energy on board as well, which is great. So I just have to pass my turn here. Let's play the phone for the end of my turn just to make sure my next card will be good. Yeah, I was considering taking the psychic energy to make sure that I can get the go for the knockout next turn. But it looks like so considering a quick ball to find the fifth Pokemon so that I can draw more cards next turn. I still go for the tablet. So because I don't have a choice belt on board, the Upa is just out of Technoblast damage, so I need something like that to take a knockout. Right, pass turn, draw a card. Wow, drew a capture energy. Of all the cards here he had to draw here. Yep, just going for a capture energy play. Can Sobble out for sure. Or maybe Arceus. I'm not certain here. It's got a few options because he already has Blizzard in hand. Walter also has 1 loss, which I believe is because of bricking. As usual with Italian decks, sometimes when it bricks, it's just infuriating when you just can't get the Sobbles out, especially. So you're going for Ultra Ball. For a Crobat to help him set up. If he's gonna draw 3 cards here, try and get out of this sticky situation he's in. Scoop up there to empty out 1 more card and draw 4 instead of 3. Oh, that's a great. Oh. Wow, that's a great 4 cards. That's perfect. Now he's even got a Moltres here. Now he has basically 2 darkness type attackers on the board with Galarian Moltres V and Hoopa V. My only saving grace is that he was forced to charge the capture energy onto Hoopa. A great start for him would be to set up the double turbo energy onto Arceus and then charging both the Hoopa and the Galarian Moltres with, like, you can charge 2 energy on Hoopa and then 1 energy of the Galarian Moltres because Galarian Moltres would already use its own ability to charge 1 from the discard pile. So giving them both 2 energy, basically setting up a checkmate board lah. Now, for me, I'm forced to find the boss's orders here to try and take a knockout on the Galarian Moltres. I got my Charizard. Now the worst thing about Walter's board state for a Mew VMAX player is that he has 2 Sobble in play. So these decks usually play 1 Raihan, right? So even if I take a knockout on the Galarian Moltres, it'll be quite hard for me to come back. And my draw was a bit, wow. That's quite bad, yeah, I think. So I'm gonna force the Ultra Ball away on my tablet. Now I involved my other Mew VMAX. Again, not really sure that that's a great play there, because but I'm trying to go for the offensive lah. Trying to take the 222 price. I can see the map. I can see my 222 price map right there. But just missing that boss's orders right now. Because if I were forced to take a knockout on the Hoopa V, right, it's very easy for Galarian Moltres to charge up in one turn, because he already has one energy on the board. Tails. Terrible Tails. I just quick ball the Mew away. Just trying to dig for that boss. At least make him work for the Raihan play. If you notice as well, it's a different kind of style with Walter and Suikai. Suikai is more of a very responsive kind of play, going with the Sobbles, hitting with the single Pizer Hoopa, then going for the surprise Moltres tail. Okay, I finally hit heads here. I finally get boss orders, and yeah, I'm definitely going for the Galarian Moltres. With a tablet on board, that's a definite knockout. Just probably gonna play the phone to set up my board for the next turn. Not the sort of stuff I really want. Okay, so they get a knockout on the Galarian Moltres D. Just trying to outspeed him here. Yep. So if you notice, there's a big issue here with my play, right? I don't have an energy set on the other Mew VMAX. And because of that, I'll be forced to Lisa Sparkle if I want to attack or find double turbo energy. And double turbo energy, yeah, it gives me an immediate attack, but the 20 damage less is very major in this matchup. And he set a Cape of Toughness. Wow. And he got results, so I assume it's gonna find the Raihan here. Oh, he's Arceus V-Star, even better. Cape of Toughness bumps the Hoopa V's HP to 270, I believe. That's really V-Star levels of HP. Huge headache for Mew players, especially if you've already used up your tablets to try and me trying to dig out the boss's orders to force that knockout on the on the Galarian Moltres V earlier. And the best part about Arceus decks is that V-Star ability. Now all he needs to find the two pieces he needs. Oh, that's even better. He's finding 2 Darkness Energy so that he can put down the Galarian Moltres baby. There you go. It's a knockout. So it's quite checkmate here, right? The only option I have now is to take a third prize with so I took the escape rope from my Wotong phone earlier. The heads. Starting to dig through now. Yeah, my only option here is to try and find. Oh, I don't even have a Mew V in the deck, so I can't run away. So even if I do have a little sparkle to try and take a knockout against the Hoopa V, but if I take a knockout against Hoopa V, I'm dead because the Moltres is charged and ready to take a return knockout. I can't take the 2/2/2 prize after all. I think I'm contemplating whether to give up here, surrender this match. Because I'm trying to see all my outs. This is why, folks, it is very, very, very important to do a deck check. When you start the game, you got just a little bit extra time just to look through your deck to see if any important cards are priced. So I do have the double fusion strike energy here. My alternative would be to attack with Meloetta. I believe I already dropped the fusion strike energy, so it's not that easy. And plus the fact that he has Keep of Toughness set on. Oh, so right, Hoopa's attack means he has to put 30 damage on his board. But it's not like Moltres, he can do it anywhere he wants. With 2 tablets, my Meloetta would do if 2 tablets plus a 210, 240, 270. I believe that's just enough, right? I just need to find an energy card now for Meloetta to attack with. Three, 4, 5, 6. Yep, just showing you guys that I've got 3 fusion strategy in the board, plus the 2 tablets. Looks like I can't dig further, I think. And if I can't dig further and force to knock out with the Mew VMAX, I'm dead. So I'm quite out of this game, I think. Replacing the Stadium with Training Court. I don't believe I have a Psychic Energy in the discard pile. So I think it's a dead end for me here. Just looking through my discard pile, let's have a look. Okay, I have a Psychic Energy. So I do have a Psychic Energy. I decided to scoop the game after all. My opponent does have he just showed me the boss's order, so even if I did attack with Meloetta for the knockout, he has the boss ready for the return knockout. Thanks for joining me on this analysis of Mew VMAX. Come join us for our weekly league at Goodness Gracious Games. Check out the Facebook link down below to find out how to go there, and join the WhatsApp group as well so you can pre-register for the tournament. And that's it.
If you have any other deck suggestions that I could play at the weekly that we could analyze, please drop me a comment down below or send me a message down at the Southern Islands. So yeah, I'll see you next time for another video.